very warm welcome to all the people who are watching this video session of active and passive voice. Today we are going to learn some basic concepts of active and passive voice, how active passive voice are used in the sentence, what are the changes that are occurring in the sentence, that we will be studying in the session. Now, over the past years we have seen that in your competitive exams, the frequency of active and passive questions are very high. So it becomes a very important topic regarding your exam point of view. So today we will learn some basic concepts of active and passive voice. Let us see. The first question that arises in our mind, that what is voice? What is voice? So voice, as we can say, it is the action of the verb, how the action in the verb is doing. So in a general manner we can say it is the action of the verb. It is the action of the verb. Fine. Now action of the verb can be done directly and indirectly. How we can say it? Let's say, as we know, the voice is divided into two categories, active and passive. So you see, active is when the action of the verb is done directly, and passive is when the action of the verb is done indirectly. Fine, let us understand with the help of examples. Let's see the sentence. Andrew broke the window. Andrew broke the window. Fine. Here you can see here Andrew is the subject, broke is the verb, and the window is the object. The window here is the object of the sentence. Who is doing the work? Andrew is doing the work. What work is doing on? Breaking of window, broke. Okay, second form of the verb, broke. Then what is being broken? The window is being broken. Fine. So the window is the object of the sentence and it is receiving the action of the verb. Fine. Now let us see. So in this case, the subject is doing the action directly. So this is why we can say this is in active voice. This is in the active voice. Fine. Now let us see how it is done in the passive voice. Okay, now see this sentence. It is saying the window was broken by Andrew. Fine. So the window was broken by Andrew. Now you see here the window was the object. Fine. In this sentence it becomes the passive subject. Passive subject. Fine. And in the previous sentence Andrew was the object, but here it is coming in the last place and it is acting like a passive object. Fine. And our verb is also changed, new helping verb New helping verb is added. Was according to the tense, because broke is the second form of the verb and it tells us about the past tense. Fine. So was is added and now the main verb of the sentence is changed into verb third form. Fine. Verb third form. Verb third form is known as past participle. Past participle. In this first sentence, as we can say, the work is done directly by the subject. And in the second sentence, we can see the window is breaking itself. No, it is still done by this person. So we can say here, the work is done indirectly by the subject, which becomes the passive voice. So the first sentence is the active voice, subject is doing the work directly, and you broke the window. And in the second sentence, the window was broken by Andrew, which means the subject is doing the work in an indirect manner. Fine, so this is the basic difference between active and passive voice. Now, the question arises in our mind, how we can convert the active voice sentence into passive voice sentence. So, we will see what are the steps we have to follow. See, the step number one that we have to be very familiar with that. Before we follow the steps, we have to be familiar with the concept of subject, verb and object. Fine. So, what is subject, what is verb and what is object? Fine. Let us see. Subject. Subject, as we say, the subject is the doer of the action. In Hindi, if we have to understand, यानी हमारे वर्क के काम को करने वाला, doer of the action. So it is the doer of the action. And verb. Verb is what? As many of us have been taught in the school, the verbs are action words. So the word denoting what action is going on is the verb. Now comes object. What is object in the sentence? Now, object in the sentence is the one which receives the action of the verb. Fine. So, the part of the sentence which is affected by the action of the verb is called object. So, it is receiving the action of verb. Fine. So, subject, verb and object. Now, one thing that we have to be very careful is that in the place of subject we can use noun and pronoun. In the place of subject, noun and pronoun can be used, and in the place of object we can also use noun and pronoun. So noun and pronoun can be used in the place of subject and in the place of object too. Fine. So let us see what is the structure followed in an active voice sentence. So in active voice, our combination is subject plus verb, then object. Fine. Subject, verb and object. This is the combination which is followed in the active voice sentences. Now, what happens when we follow a passive voice structure. Let us see. In the passive voice, this subject and object will change their place, which means they will interchange their position. So, here object will come first. Object will come at the first place, then it will be followed by the verb, but this time a new helping verb will be added. New helping verb will be added, then it will be followed by the verb, then subject of the original sentence will come at last. Fine. So the basic structure here is that the subject is followed by a preposition that we will understand later on, but for our general purpose, for the general structure, we can say that the subject is coming at the last position in the sentence. Fine. So it becomes the passive subject and this becomes the passive object. Fine. So I hope everyone understands that what happens when we convert this sentence into passive voice. So this structure is being followed. Fine. Now let us see some of the rule and some of the steps that we have to follow. Fine. Steps for converting active into passive voice. First thing, what we will do, we will interchange what we will interchange the position of subject and object. Interchange the subject and object. The first step that we have to do, interchange the subject and object. Then what we have to do, we will put a suitable helping verb, how? According to the tense. According to the tense of active voice sentence. Active voice sentence, suitable verb according to the active voice sentence. Then main verb will be changed into third form of the verb, and as we discussed, third form of the verb is known as past participle. After that, we will add a preposition. Fine. So in the most of the case, preposition by is used. Fine. So preposition by, new preposition or preposition by is added, and then it will be followed by the subject of the active voice sentence. So put subject of the active voice sentence. Fine. So what we will doing? We will be doing interchanging the subject and the object. Then we will be putting a new helping verb according to the tense. Then main verb will be changed into the